Peace. Keep it real, Israel. We want to talk about, are the laws done away with? Are the laws disannulled? Are the laws null and void? Okay, now we know what we mean when we say the laws. We're talking about the Mosaic laws. Okay, but can you mention laws without mentioning sin? Because they go hand in hand, right? So let's find out what is the definition of sin. Let's go to 1 John 3 and 4. And we can see that sin is the transgression of the law. So I hope you guys following. So if sin is the transgression of the law, that means that if the law is disannulled, if the law is done away with, if the law is null and void, then so is sin. Because how can you transgress something that doesn't exist? Okay? So think about that. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's see if that theory is true. Romans chapter 5 verse 13. Sin is not imputed when there is no law. There you go. That theory is confirmed. Sin can't be if there is no law. Romans chapter 4 verse 15. Where no law is, there is no transgression. That's a little more clear. So, like I said, if the law is done away with, then so is sin. If the law is null and void, then so is sin. Okay? Sin can exist when there is no laws. So Christians, now we understand that. Can you please explain this? 1 John 3 and 8. This is super New Testament. This is very close, very, very close to Revelation. So this is way after the so-called nailing to the cross. This is way after the resurrection. And look what we read. He that committeth sin is of the devil. Please stop. Why are we still talking about sin if sin goes hand in hand with the law, but there's no law? So there's no sin. Then why are we still talking about sin if that theory is true? Obviously it's flawed. So you guys, you so-called Christians, you got to revamp your doctrine, your heresy. You got to explain this right here. Because if the law is done away with, then why are we still reading about sin in 1 John 3 and 8? And look what it says about it. It said not only is sin still going on, so that means the law is definitely around. But look, he that committeth sin is of the devil. So if you commit sin, you're of the devil. That's your savior, the devil. There you go. So good luck explaining that to your congregation.